Prabhu. You have to read from in the meantime. So we know that Tamal Krishna Maharaj has already expressed his desire when he had this hernia operation. He expressed his desire to be relieved of the Bombay administrative responsibilities, and he wanted to go and preach. And there, actually, it is Krishna's arrangement, because when he goes there along with his old friend Vishnu Chandra Maharaj, Tamal Krishna Maharaj, both of them, they will start this Radha Damodar traveling Sankirtan party, which will become the folklore of the success of preaching in the West, especially ISKCON's preaching in the West, both from a book distribution point of view and from a preaching point of view. And it also used to get lots and lots of full-time brahmacharis and other devotees also. Even married couple also became very nice devotees. That was the time when the whole explosion happened, Hare Krishna explosion, from 71, 72 onwards till 76, 77, till Prabhupada's departure. It was just exponentially growing. Not only the US, Canada, US, and other South America, then Africa, everywhere. So that particular section will not be covered in this book, because this is more focused on the Juhu part. But there are books written exclusively on the glorious pastimes and the miraculous activities that the incidents happened during that time. So we will try to intersperse that wherever possible. But in the excuse me. In the meantime, let's focus on now what Prabhupada is going to do with replacing Tamal Krishna Maharaj's role there. Please continue, Prabhupada.
Prabhuji, just I want to share one
yes.
Point regarding that book made by Khushwant Singh.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Yeah. So one point is that Khushwant Singh has collected data from all 12 these gurus and
different gurus. Yes.
So that we got money, we didn't pay anything for that. He just collected and he made a book. And you know how much he is selling today? It is 5,000 rupees one book.
My God, now it is selling for 5,000 rupees.
Yeah.
At that time, he might have been. And he didn't do anything.
His contribution is nothing, and he is making that money. He must.
And not only that, Prabhu, not only in terms of physical contribution, mentally also he is not connected with the devotional side at all.
Just he got one idea and he made this book possible, and see how much money he has made. This is
very interesting, huh? But he died for long back, no, Prabhu?
Yeah, like that.
Whatever money he collected, what did he take with him? Or in last days, he had to suffer a lot because of his health and all that. No controlled eating at all. So in his older age, he suffered like anything. And not only that, everything he left for others to enjoy. What he would have enjoyed. Enjoyment means also, as we read in that, when we read that Narad Muni's verse also, no, we were talking about Mahavishnu Maharaj's point about the difference between richness and opulence. Opulence is real. Opulence means surrender to Krishna, or devotional service to Krishna. That is the real opulence. Richness is just you have the money, but that is not going to help us in any way. Elements. Please continue, Prabhu. Nice point, Prabhu. Thank you for that.
In the meantime, Prabhupada continued looking for a GBC replacement for Tamal Krishna. I'm now in India. He had written Atreya Rishi. So in my presence, another GBC may not be required. But if required, in my absence, my question is whether it will be possible for you to take charge while keeping your occupation intact. As it turned out, Atreya Rishi did not come. So Prabhupada tried to Karandhara and Jagadish, but neither lasted more than a few weeks.
So Atreya Rishi, Prabhu, if I'm not wrong, he is a devotee-born Muslim body. And I think from Turkey or somewhere. If I'm not wrong, and he did a stellar contribution in comparing and contrasting both the philosophies, both the religions and all that he had done. So Prabhupada used to engage him in very nice preaching opportunities, especially to the academicians, philosophers, etc. And he also is a good manager also in that sense. And so Prabhupada is trying with different. Karandara Prabhu was in Los Angeles, if I'm not wrong. And Jagdish Prabhu was in somewhere in Europe or London. I think maybe in US. So they used to shuttle between these places. So they also couldn't adjust to the austerities of India, staying in India. Seeing all these things, you can see how much resilient Sona Giriraj Maharaj was. He could have stayed back in the US, same like how Tamal Krishna Maharaj asked. But he preferred to follow Prabhupada's order to stay back in India and continued on even beyond the temple was constructed and completed. He left only maybe in the recent past only, maybe 15, 20 years back, whatever. After temple was built by 78 January, right? That was it. As soon as Prabhupada's departure, within 2 months, the temple opened, 78 January. And almost till mid-90s or early 2000s, he was there. So later only because of his health issues, he moved to California, and then now he is of course traveling and preaching, but it was a bit serious health issues for Maharaj at that time, in the early 2000s and all. So let's continue, Prabhu, this part. Srutagiti Prabhu is going to remind giving to us.
Rameshwar Prabhu, what is the status?
I think he started giving classes and all that thing, but he was also a very wonderful servant at that time. Everybody who served there, no Prabhu, at that time, they were all Rameshwar Maharaj and many of them, all of them, somehow or other, they were all very much surrendered to Prabhupada. That is their main positive contribution. But if you see, this path is not very easy to sustain, Prabhu. It's easy to take up, but it is very difficult to sustain. Even for us also, we are all from this Sanskriti, but still we find it so difficult to avoid the sense gratificatory thing, isn't it? Whereas in the other words, outside India, sense gratification is the only thing. Nobody knew, they didn't have any cultural foundation at all. Everything started off with sense gratification only and ended with sense gratification. So from that perspective, if Prabhupada could bring all these devotees and then many of them sustained on, is a miracle. It's really a miracle. And they all confessed at one point, most of them, let's say 90% of them at least, that the only reason they had to take a back seat or space, get a bit spaced out, was because of their sense enjoyment attractions. Because they sacrificed so much in their life when they were supposed to take it. At a later point, they felt that these are some things which we missed out. Maybe that would have been the case. So many of them, even after taking sannyas, some of them took to grahastha life like that. But Prabhupada, though he was not fully happy with that thing, but still he still said that it's okay, you still continue to fight it. You continue the fight. Irrespective of whether you are wearing a saffron or a white robe or whatever, grahastha or sannyasi or brahmachari, whatever, continue your fight. In other words, continue doing your devotional service in a humble way. Don't look for all these positions, post, name, fame, etc. Be in a humble way. Just continue your service, and eventually you will be perfected. So we can see even in Ajamila's case, he did fall down, but then once he got that second chance, he continued on with full vigor his devotional service. And Krishna doesn't see how many times you have fallen. Krishna is only, will only see how many times you have risen again, you know. So from that perspective, you can even see how His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj is so all embracing, frankly speaking. Even those who were at one point, they were like the real commander-in-chiefs of Prabhupada's army. And at some point, they had to recede. Maybe some anarthas were there. For some of them, there were genuine anarthas. Where they tried to take the position of Prabhupada, obviously, after Prabhupada's departure. So that is something which is a very big offense. You know, if you do that offense, then it's very difficult to come out of it. Name, fame, sense enjoyment, that is there with everybody. But taking the position of the guru is a very serious offense. And that's one thing which we should always be guarding against, because some little name, fame, whatever comes, or some service we do for a spiritual master, we think that we are the cause of their uh, and that we are the cause of the spiritual master's existence also. So these are things where we should be careful. And those who realized, these things, Krishna somehow allowed them to get back to the service. Many of them did that. So, thank you, Prabhu. That's what I was trying to share with you.
I just want to add
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. 1 second, Anthony Prabhu. Suresh Prabhu is saying something. Yes, Prabhuji.
For that matter, even Uddhava was also found difficult these austerities. So he has told, Lord told him that story of Avanti Brahman.
No, Uddhava is asking this for on behalf of all of us. Just like Arjuna was asking, saying Chanchalam Himana Krishna, Arjuna can shoot the arrow and pierce the eye of the fish without looking at it. So his concentration is at that level. So when he says Chanchalam Himana Krishna, of course he is feeling out of humility, he is saying that, but it is for our learnings only. So same way, Uddhava also in a humble way he is telling this, that I can't do it, but then he is all empowered to that. But that is something which Krishna inspired him to say, so that he can reveal the Avanti Brahmana story.
One thing, Prabhu, that he was not in devotion to of the Lord. Still, he got liberated.
Who?
Avanti Brahmana.
See, Prabhu, we may not be able to conclude that because he is basically a Brahmana, right? So he would have done all the basic sanskaras in his childhood, like just like a Jamila, right? But what happens is in Kali Yuga, or I mean, what Kali Yuga, whatever, I mean, even in the Dwapara Yuga also, end of the Dwapara Yuga, it's almost like Kali Yuga. So he was into all this trading business and earning money and everything. So that made him somehow more materialistic. So that's why he is not like in and out materialistic person, but he must have done some pious activity which led to getting to that renunciation mode right at the time when this thing happened. Even for Ajamil also, if you see, in his beginning days, in his brahmacharya life, he was a very strict brahmachari. He was very meticulously doing the service to his spiritual master. But small deviation happened, and due to which he went into a totally different direction. But this is the beauty of Neha Bikramana Shasti Pratyavayona Vidyate, right? Even little service you do in devotional service, that will last longer and it will protect us at the right time. So that is why it is always urged that even if you have some imperfections, but continue doing devotional service, because one thing is that the devotional service will continue eternally, and second thing is that that's the only way to get out of the anartha modes. If you have to we have to get rid of the anarthas, vanquish the anarthas in our heart, and become good. then devotional service is the only way. And that is why Prabhupada insisted that even if you are not able to maintain your sannyas ashram, at least be in grihastha ashram and continue devotional service. See, so this is how it is understood, Prabhu, because devotional service is always the best way and means. Right? It's always positive that way. Nice
Thank you,
questions
Prabhu.
and comments, Prabhuji. Thank you. So nice discussion point. Sorry, Antaryami Prabhu. One minute,
Krishna
Mataji.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Sindhu Mataji,
Yes,
1
Prabhuji.
minute. Antaryami Prabhu, you were about to say something.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Nandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Nice
Hope
to hear you.
Hope you could able to hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Prabhu, I just wanted to share 2 points here. One is, see, these, suppose we go to US for some job purpose, and then we come back, and then we hate India like anything, and blaming like all pollution, traffic, all polluted water, etc. But with respect to, but that's only short term we stayed there. But if you see these Prabhupada's disciples, they born and brought up in US in that luxury life, and they came to India along with Prabhupada and doing all this, and even not now, at the 70s. 70s means even we do not have
Even
much
worse, yeah.
infrastructure also.
Yeah.
That is even more difficult. We cannot even think at that time how India was, right? So they are really actual disciples of Prabhupada, and really we can call them as Prabhupada soldiers.
Yeah, their sacrifice is unparalleled, Prabhu. Really,
Yes, yes.
nobody can. They didn't complain. They are just lying under a tin
Yeah,
shade,
just
and
take it as it is.
they said one of the devotees said when he was eating, one lizard fell on his food, and he had to just throw it out and eat the remaining food. And sometimes they will have cockroaches going here and there, and mosquitoes are biting them so much. All kinds of austerities they had to face,
Yeah,
And that is
lot of
why
austerities.
that is why I
Compared to
keep telling
that,
this, Prabhu. That is why I keep telling this. We are living a luxurious life in in devotional service.
yes.
What we are facing is that we come there and wherever we go, ISKCON temple is there, Govinda's restaurant is there.
In fact, we are enjoying the fruits too.
That's what
They
we
have
are. We are just.
all
We are not
seeded
yogis. We are
beautiful
bogis.
trees. Yeah, plants. Yeah.
See the in engine in the train also we call the engine as engine and the rest of it as bogie, right?
Yeah.
That is bogie means bogie. In other words, that they don't do any work. It's the engine doing all the work. You just have to be hooked to the engine and you will be taken from Chennai to Delhi without any problem. Imagine 3,000 kilometers. You just go without any effort. Someone else is dragging you. You just have to sit there. That's all, right?
Yeah.
So that is why it is called bogie. We say bogie, na. Bogie means one who enjoys.
Bogie. Yeah.
So we are all bogies. We are not yogis. The real yoga is all done by all those who are doing austerities. See, I was telling this thing in the. I don't know if you were there in the Narada Muni thing on Saturday. 1540 we were discussing. See, by and large, we see that there are devotees of two kinds. One who does to the limited extent within their capacity, in the sense they have their family. That is what they are supposed to do. Their first importance is to be given to the family, relatives, immediate relatives, whatever. And then whatever little they can do in terms of the devotional service. But then this material world is such that it doesn't allow them to think anything beyond that. If you have to do some little sacrifice and take some other service as priority or take something as your mission, life's mission. We are talking about how the disciple should take the spiritual master's mission as a life's mission. If you remember anyone who were there in that class. So that is how the second kind of devotees will be there, and those are very rare. They will be willing to sacrifice their health, their energy, their time, and their personal things, everything they will sacrifice to somehow or other assist in the mission of the spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada. Those kind of people, they have to withstand a lot more. They may not be able to they may have to stay as a brahmachari or they may have to be a sannyasi. They would not be able to experience the regular things that a normal, say, grahasthas or the normal people in this world would go through. But in spite of all these things, they will not consider those as predominant because they have taken something else as even more important in their lives. In the prime of their youths, for them to stay as brahmacharis and continue doing service, it's not very easy. You see so many brahmacharis all around the world. You know, for example, see Amoglila Prabhu is getting so much this thing demand for him, you know, going and preaching everywhere. He's not very old also. He's hardly in the mid-40s, whatever, or say early 40s. So there will always be somebody who will be asking, Prabhuji, we want to marry you, or like that. They will have all these kinds of thing. They will put all these requests and everything. You have to resist those temptations. Take Gauranga Prabhu, for example. He's going everywhere. Every day he is in some different places. How much focused you should be in your service to avoid all these distractions, right? Especially when you are so much more qualified, the demands will be even more. And forget, you can control your senses, but someone else's senses come and bothers you. You have to restrain both sides. It's very difficult. You see. So this is where I'm saying that how much effort is needed to sacrifice all your basic requirements, desires, or whatever, to give preference to the spiritual master's mission, Prabhupada's mission, and sacrifice all these things. So there is definitely somewhere something. All these great souls also, they had to go through challenging situations like this in their life also. But because of Prabhupada's purity, they were held together at somehow or other. And as soon as Prabhupada's departure happened, then all the things kind of, lot of things that were like, it's like if you have to say, Arjuna and Krishna, where they were fighting in the battlefield, no? When battle was over, usually it is the Rati, Sarathi, or the one who is the driver. He should first get down and then give the hand to the Rati and get him down with respect. But Krishna, what he did, he said, first you please get down. And Arjuna was surprised. He said, Krishna, you are the one who's supposed to get down, and I will do. Normally, that's the protocol. I have to get down in the end. And Krishna, no, don't talk anything. Just do what I say. So Arjuna got down. And then after that, Krishna slowly got down. He told him to go away. And then Krishna slowly got down. As soon as Krishna got down, the chariot broke into hundreds of pieces by the astras that were held in there. So many those powerful astras were there. They could have been like time bombs. They were ready to blow, but Krishna was protecting Arjuna. Because of Krishna's presence, it didn't blow. It was just protected. So Krishna said, "You first leave. After I leave, only I will destroy this. Allow this to be destroyed." So that is this, no. So like that, when Prabhupada was there, everybody was held together somehow or other. Even they had internal differences, but for Prabhupada's sake, they came together because that is the level of purity. Even now, also you see with our spiritual masters, so many of the leaders are also there. They are also, not everybody is on the same line. They will have different. It's not that they don't like each other's idea. It is just that they think that I am serving my guru in a certain way. So I think this idea would be better. So there, some maturity is required for people to come together to let the other person say, okay, I think you should do better. Your saying sounds better. Let's do yours. That kind of a thing should come automatically in our nature. Otherwise, there will always be things like politics, and you will gather some people who will support you. They will gather some people, they will support him, and all these things will happen, and then it becomes a political slugfest rather than a bhakti fest. You see, a lot of um, maturity and deep thinking is required to see what is ultimately required for this thing to go forward. So Many times, so many people will be doing their sevas from background. But if they don't do that with the aim of I should get some name and fame, this and that, wealth, whatever, followers, they just do it because this is what it is needed to push the movement ahead. There's so many wonderful souls like that are available, are still doing their seva. They'll be doing it in a silent way, but eventually their services will be glorified. Eventually, Krishna will bring them out in the open. So that is very important to know. And then, sorry, Induradhika Mataji, you had about to say something.
Prabhu, I have the
Hare
second
Krishna,
point.
Prabhuji.
One second, Antare Prabhu. Let Indu Mata speak and then we can
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
the second one. Yes. Indu Mataji, yes.
No, Prabhuji, I was just coming to the same point when we were discussing where there was a kind of some people, there was a fall down of some of the devotees of Srila Prabhupada. Na? Actually, even Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, no, Prabhuji, that even if a devotee somebody has done devotional service and fall down, that is also acceptable. Hai na, Prabhuji? He tells in the Bhagavad Gita.
Apichesu Duracharo.
Duracharo, yes.
In Bhagavatam also he says the same thing.
Yes,
Yeah,
Prabhuji.
we have to be Ananya Bhakta. See, that is the
Yes.
difference.
Hmm.
You may have done something wrong, but the problem is that Samyak Vyavasito Isaha. Bhajate ma Ananya Bhak, Samyak Vyavasito Isaha. Samyak means all his senses fully focused on serving the spiritual master. I will get a second chance. I've gotten a second chance. Let me utilize it fully now. So that is very important. And secondly, one thing that Prabhupada always taught us is that never judge anybody. Never be never take a judgmental thing. We are not the inspector general to go and inspect everybody, see whether they are good or not. Because end of the day, our body is constructed in such a way that we cannot see our own back. So when we cannot see our own defects, then it's better that first hear when others are telling about our defects and try to fix them instead of hearing someone else's defects and try to. There will always be this argument that will come that says, Prabhu, then why don't we that tell them it is for their good only we are telling no. So what is wrong? But the problem is that we should do karunaya aha. We should speak this out of compassion and mercy. As long as that compassion and mercy is not there in our heart, then it will be it will not pass on with full effect. Even now, if I want to feel, if some devotee is doing something in a negative way or in something wrong, something not doing it in the proper way, I feel like going and telling that devotee. I should inspect myself whether I have that karuna in my heart. First thing. So when that karuna, what does that karuna mean? There should not be any tinge of false ego in us. Suppose if I go and tell that person also, the feeling in my heart is like this. Oh, I am in ISKCON. This devotee is also in ISKCON. So tomorrow he will, by his behavior, ISKCON name will be spoiled. So if ISKCON name is spoiled, the person who is seeing this devotee doing like this, they will have a bad opinion about ISKCON. And when I go, they will say, oh, you are also in ISKCON. ISKCON is a bad organization. So you are also a bad person. This is how they will get the impression. So these are all the thinking that is going in my mind. Because of someone doing something bad, the image of that movement will be distorted. And as a result, my image also will be distorted. So it's possible ultimately. You got the point where it is, the circle is coming around like this. People will think bad about me because of this person's behavior. People will think bad about me. We are not thinking that, hey, Prabhupada, the people will think bad about Prabhupada. People will not appreciate Prabhupada's teachings. They will just see this one small bad this thing symptom and they will go away. That is how we think. So that, ideally speaking, we should be worried about people not taking the valuable treasure that is there and seeing something else and going away. We should be worried about that. So karunaya aha, we have to go and speak. But that is not there. That karuna means irrespective of whatever is my impression or people having impression on me or movement or whatever, doesn't matter. I am worried about that person's well-being. How many times we think like that? Do you understand, Prabhu's Mataji, where I am coming from? Do you see where I am coming from? Even if that
Yes,
person
Prabhu.
continue to have a bad, even if that person continue to have a bad opinion about ISKCON after our speaking, we should not be bothered about it. We should be only worried that whether that person is little bit of his suffering is removed from his from his miseries, from his heart, from his life, and is he having little bit faith in Krishna, and Prabhu somehow if he is able to get it. That is all should be the thing. They may continue to have retain bad opinion about us. That should not bother us. What we are worried about, it doesn't matter if he joins, if he starts chanting. It doesn't matter if he starts reading Bhagavatam. But that Galatfahmi that he has, that misunderstanding he has about me, that should be cleared. This is the false ego. This is preaching out of false ego. This is very important. The subtle thing we have to understand why we are preaching, why we are sharing this information, the messages from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and all. Ultimately, at the end of the day, Sanklesha Nirvanam, Ushanti Nanyatha, Muhuhu. Again and again, they are going into the Sanklesha. And the only way is hearing Krishna Katha, holy names, do some seva, association of devotees. So that is why we are trying to give this solution to everybody. Does it help, Mataji? I know you shared that point of how we should approach those who are not, those are deviated from this thing. We should be very careful in not judging anybody. That is the full point. I was trying to share this point. So I hope that helps. Thanks for that point, though. Antaryami Prabhu, you wanted to say the second thing that you wanted to share.
Yeah, Prabhu, the second point is because I am not doing full-fledged devotional service because right now we don't see that urgency. Things
Yes.
are very smooth going on.
Going
Okay,
in
we will
a.
do. We are not actually thinking about deathbed because even
Yeah.
today's quote in Mahavishnu Maharaj also said, if you want to have a good chanting, nice chanting, you think about your deathbed.
Deathbed.
So what I was thinking, like I also should get some kind of a thing like Ajamila got. Then maybe our devotional service may be serious. So otherwise, everything is fine. Okay, going on smoothly. So we will do devotional service. We keep on whatever we do. That is fine. That is more than enough. That's what I think. But the seriousness is not coming through. Yeah.
Art
So
of
I was thinking
foreseeing
like
our
we
own
should have
condition.
that second chance.
Yeah. No, the second chance, Prabhu Krishna is giving multiple chances, Prabhu. Second, forget about second chance. How many chances
Yes,
we have
yes.
got, nobody knows. Very important. Thank you for that beautiful realizations, Prabhu. Thank you for that. So, yeah, let's continue reading. In the meantime, always devotees, please interrupt and share your nice thoughts. No problem. So, who is, sorry, it's Suresh Prabhu reading, no? Where am I? Yes, life in India is difficult. You only read one paragraph so far.
Life in India was difficult. Sutagirti later remembered. When devotees from the West came, they had no idea what to expect. They thought it was going to be like doing things in the West. Juhu was especially challenging. The battle went on for years. Devotees would come from the West to battle for the Juhu property, and before long, they were licking their wounds, devastated, and wanting to leave India. Just uh, just being in India was difficult in the early 70s, and dealing with the problems in Bombay was impossible.
Okay, this is all real experience because Sutagirti Prabhu is even now he's in Vrindavan, wonderful devotee. He shares lot of wonderful nectarian stories from Prabhupada. I think I shared one or two from the his book also in the group. He was the personal servant of Prabhupada. Wherever Prabhupada was traveling, he was always traveling with Prabhupada in all the world tours. And he knew when Prabhupada came to Bombay, he also had to come with Prabhupada to Bombay as a personal servant. And to all other places. If you remember, when Prabhupada was in New Zealand and this Nayar was dead, it was Chudakirti Prabhu who picked up the call when Balimardhan Prabhu called Prabhupada and tried to call Prabhupada to tell that Nayar is dead. So he was traveling everywhere and he knew the hardships that everywhere devotees are facing. So please continue further.
Prabhupada decided to try Bhagwan, who was the GBC for France. I understand that you will be coming in about a week's time. Brahmananda wrote him, Srila Prabhupada confirmed my suggestion that you go straight to Bombay in this connection. Srila Prabhupada said in the following, so far as I have studied, there is a clique of some enemies to acquire the land and spoil the whole scheme. So we have to save ourselves. Even if there is no sanction to build the further building, we should maintain what we have got. We should not let anyone infringe on our properties, on our rights. The book distribution program must be thoroughly organized.
Thank you, Prabhu. Nice. Anyone else would like to take over from here?
Prabhu, I would like to read.
Please, Prabhu. Go ahead.
On October 22nd, Prabhupada wrote the letter we were all waiting for, informing us that he would be returning to Juhu. Regarding the construction, you should immediately begin work on all 4 of the remaining flats. The work must begin whether you have got sufficient cement or blocks or not, bricks or not. If you have to lay only one brick, then you do that. I may be coming there next week. So you can prepare for that.
See, this is one thing which is very important for us to also notice here, that when Prabhupada is there, things go fast. When Prabhupada starts traveling, there is naturally things slow down a bit. So it's not that the devotees feel like, say, that the kind of challenges that they were facing, being foreigners in India and trying to build a big, huge temple, it's not easy. Even being Indians in India and trying to build a Ram Mandir, how long it took for us to remember, how it is like one temple. Huh? So it's such a challenging thing, So, for them to do it, and Prabhupada had to come back and keep propping them up. Otherwise, it's not so easy. It's not that, see, a construction engineer, you ask him, give money, ask him to come and do, an architect and construction engineer or somebody, they can come and do it easily because that is what they do. But in our case, the difficulty or the challenge, I would say, not the difficulty, but the challenge with the devotees trying to build temple is that, first of all, they are not experts. They are all different other fields. They all come together and build the temples. Secondly, they should continue to do their sasana sadhana, preaching, and the temple should be built as a result of our preaching. It's not a mechanical thing. It is a spiritual service that which we are doing. The temple building, construction, or the purchasing the land, and all those things, they are spiritual services. That is why in Rajkot, Dwarka also, Maharaj said first that, see, the temple building, if you want to build, some millionaire comes and gives money, in no time it will get built. That is not our aim. Our thing is to build the temple through our bhakti. So you sincerely do bhakti, depend on Krishna, and do whatever task you do, but do it with the full dependence on Krishna. And that surrender, dependence, and service to Krishna, dedication to serving Krishna, that will help the temple come up on its own. So it's a miracle only. They don't come by the money or the construction people or architects. It is coming as a result of our eagerness to serve Krishna. Eagerness to serve Krishna, fully surrender to his services. That's why it's a vast, huge ocean of difference between a normal building construction and a temple construction. Otherwise, say for example, ISKCON Dwarka temple you take. The temple president, I think Pradyumna Prabhu, I think, he is a millionaire by himself. And he told his owner Gopal Krishna Maharaj that, Maharaj, we can just build it. I have Lakshmi. Why do you have to struggle to get Lakshmi from everywhere? But Maharaj specifically told him, you don't touch your money. You just come here and you do the management part of it. We have to build with the help of everybody's Lakshmi. Let everybody contribute. Only then the temple thing. Maharaj, Mahavishnu Maharaj, Parapuja Mahavishnu Maharaj also for building the Rajkot or Dwarka temple. He said even 100 rupees somebody gives, that will go into the temple construction. We are not one wealthy man you catch, make him pay the entire thing. No problem. Overnight you can just build the construction. That temple may be constructed, but it will be like a ghost haunted building. It will not have the bhakti in it. Because you do the austerity and perseverance with patience to bring things slowly, one by one, even if it takes 10, 15 years, whatever. That perseverance is what led later people will come. It is because people will come in thousands and thousands. It is because of the austerities that all the devotees did on the direction of Prabhupada. Prabhupada himself did so much austerity. Now on the Janmashtami day, you cannot enter into Juhu temple. Isn't it? How many of, I don't know if Krishnavani Mataji is here. She is the one I know closest to staying in the, just very close to the Juhu temple. I'm just giving this an example because you are talking the Juhu story, but it is the same story for all the temples. Like I went to Mira Road. There devotees were telling that here more than 1,000 families are there in our, near the Mira Road temple. I mean, say the Radhagiri Dari temple. And the devotees are advised not to come to the temple on Janmashtami. They said that they are just staying opposite to the temple, but when they go, they just to go up. There is a stairs going up, and then the deities are there all the way in the straight into the hall. So devotees will have to stand on the edge of the stairs only. From far distance they have to see during the Mangalarti and come back home. That's all. For the rest of the day, it's all overcrowded. How all these things are possible? It's because of every drop of sweat and blood that Prabhupada and all his surrendered devotees shed for the service of Krishna. Right? So we are again so thankful for this thing. So that is why when Prabhupada is not there also, this when there is a slowdown, then Prabhupada comes, at least one brick you lay down. I want to see the construction starting. If Prabhupada is writing like this, just at least one brick is only there, then put that, at least we will start. What a encouragement, I tell you. So please continue.
Prabhu, here I just wanted to know, is they had a labor and they constructing, or devotees, disciples themselves constructing brick by brick?
No, they had laborers.
Okay.
But then overseeing, supervision and all these things devotees had to do. Because if you leave them alone, they will just do like a normal house and go away. So, right. So,
okay. So,
and it is not a simple RCC thing, Prabhu. On top of it, they have to do so much of a marble thing. That is what will take more time.
Yeah. Yes, but what you mentioned about the temples during festivals, nowadays, the last couple of weeks we observed, not even festival days, Prabhu, even
Normal days
Sundays,
also.
in Abid's temple, we can't even stand. Crowd is like that, even in Hyderabad. So it's day by day it's increasing, and
Seriously,
Pune also same situation.
Yeah, Pune normal days also on Sundays and Saturdays. Go to Pune, Hyderabad. At least you can say it's in the city. Man, look at Govardhanaka village on weekends. 15,000 people come, and so difficult to handle the crowd there. It's so difficult for them, and rooms are getting booked well in advance. Why all this is because of the austerity that the devotees are doing. In Hyderabad, especially last 3-4 years, it has increased like anything. I mean, all glories to Grace Radhesham Prabhu's teaching there. Constantly, he has been every month, 1 week, he is staying there and relentlessly he is doing so much seva. And of course, many other devotees are also contributing. But the example has to come from, that's what I said. Those who are doing genuine sacrifice, naturally they will have the like the honey attracted by honeybees get attracted to the honey, like that it happens. We have to be that way, that we have to develop more and more with our own personal example only we can show. That's the best way to really inspire anyone. Prabhupada is doing that here by his personal example. Please continue, Prabhupada.
Yeah, okay. The following day, I replied, here in Bombay, we have so many different departments of activity that it is necessary to depute various devotees to different departments. Mr. Sethi has been in charge of the construction department, but as president, I have been meeting with him every day from 15 minutes to 1 hour to check step by step the progress in all of our construction.
All of our construction activities.
All of our construction activities. Mr. Sethi in person, Ali seeing along with Mr. Sharma to the passing of the plans and to getting the no objection certificate from the police. In addition, Mr. Sethi is engaging labor contractors and material suppliers from among friends of his who regularly work with him on this project. We have compared to the prices and the quality of the goods and services. Mr. Sethi is arranging from his friends with the qualities and prices of goods and services available through other life members or in the market. We have found that in almost every case, Mr. Sethi's quality is the best and his price is the lowest. Even after purchasing materials or taking labor, when the particular contractor or supplier comes for his bills, we take the bill to Mr. Sethi and in his presence reduce the bill even further, and then only we pay. The final result is that we are getting very good results for very little money. Mr. Sethi, devotion to your divine grace and the attachment to his service seem to be growing rather than diminishing. Within a family, there may be difference of opinion, but the bond of affection between family members prevails. Similarly, in one or two occasions, Mr. Sethi may have been disappointed with the confusion in our office, but his devotion to his work has not at all diminished. You may know that when Manasvi Prabhu left for Los Angeles, he did not properly hand over his portfolio. In addition, when he was in Bombay, he was not very willing to let the other managers know exactly what he was doing. Therefore, after he left, there was a period of confusion. Now, however, we have taken steps to organize all the files and pending matters in a very tight way so that there is no misplacing of papers or losing track of pending matters. Yeah, here it is mentioned, Prabhu. There are labor and
Please
other.
please continue till
Yeah.
the letter is complete, and then we will discuss a few points from here.
Okay. Mr. Sethi also appreciates the problems posed by Manasvi departure, and he is pleased to see that We have taken steps to rectify the situation. The ladies who were staying in one of the office rooms have shifted to your old department.
But
And by adding old apartment, and by adding an additional one room to the office, the organization has become even better. Regarding the new accommodation, they are very nice. When Gargamuni Swami and Jayatirtha Prabhu visited, we were in the process of building an additional staircase from the from the third floor up to the terrace. As such, workers were breaking down many of the walls, and naturally dirt was spread in the ashram. However, certain devotees are assigned to clean the ashram every day, and the floors and the bathrooms are all washed and mopped at least once a day. We have recently taken delivery of 5 big cupboards for accommodating the devotees, personal belongings, and bedding. These cabinets will allow us to pick everything off the floor and keep the room neat and clean and ready for use for other activities during the day. We are also getting the necessary furnishings for for your personal secretaries and your translating and editing staff so that they may work as efficiently as possible.
thank you, Prabhu. You just wanted to discuss a little bit here about this confusion created when Manasi Prabhu left for Los Angeles. There is one point that is mentioned here, which I thought is important for us to note down. In addition, when he was in Bombay, he was not very willing to let the other managers know exactly what he was doing. Therefore, after he left, there was a period of confusion. So this is something which is very mundane in nature. Normally, when we feel insecure about our position, we don't like to others to know what we are doing. We like to keep things very closed, and or because we are worried that my control on this thing will be taken away. This is all materialistic way of thinking, and that is why after he left, there is a confusion. See, because we are not open-hearted in understanding that. Now, just now we were discussing that art of foreseeing our end day, right? Yeah, last day. So we all have our last days. Last day does not mean only last day in this world. If I move from Chennai to somewhere else, then I have a last day in Chennai. If I go from Pune to Hyderabad or Bangalore or Delhi, there is a last day for me in Pune. So everywhere, every single day is a last day somewhere. We have to understand that. And more than worried about my own self, when I'm there, oh, my importance will be gone, my importance will be gone. Instead, a honest person will be worried, oh, after I leave, the work should go on smoothly. Prabhupada was so much concerned about people taking his mission and take on the thing smoothly forward ahead. That is why he clearly said, even before he was leaving, he said where his samadhi must be, who should do the samadhi. After he leaves, what all things people should do, who will be responsible, BCs or whatever, and then who should take care of, say, America, who should take care of India. All those things Prabhupada divided, so that things go on smoothly after his departure. There were hiccups. For the first 10, 12, 15 years, after almost 20 years, there was a lot of hiccups. But then even during that period also, things were going on somehow or other because of the preaching. You see? So we have to understand this clearly, that this is a subtle mood which everybody gets. Manasi Prabhu is just one small example. Like that, all of us have this mood that I should not let others take over my this thing. I need the name, fame, and glories of the service that I am doing. No one should come and take away from my glory, my visibility, my significance should not be lost. These are all my thing is all very immature, Prabhu's Matajis. And this is something which we should somehow or other learn from other devotees who successfully did it. See, Giriraj Maharaj, for example, throughout the thing he was managing everything, but you will never see someone come and complain that hey, he is bossing me over, he is trying to control me, he is insecure about his position. Never like that, because as it is, the thing is so challenging, but they want to somehow or other contribute in their spiritual master's mission. That is why even after so many years, he is able to write such a glorifying book. He doesn't put anything about himself in there. If you read that entire book, this entire book, if you had read, any of you would have completed reading this book, you will know, you will see that not a single place Maharaj is putting himself up, saying, I did this, I did that, I did this. Anything that is there is in the context of the flow. That is the letter that he is talking about. His own letter that he wrote to Prabhupada is the context of the flow. The letter he receives from Prabhupada, that is in the context of the flow. Prabhupada instructs him something, that is also in the flow. You see, there is nowhere you see that wants to prop himself up and saying, oh, Prabhupada called me, you are the next succession thing of me, you should take care of this like this. No, he never says anywhere anything like that. This is the beauty. So so it's a small little incident. There are bigger incidents that happen similar to this many times. Even now, it is all continue to happen. This is all because of our lack of understanding the philosophical aspects of our mission. We are only into when we are only into festival mood. We are only into say enjoying mood and all that. Then we will not understand that why we are doing all these things. The end result of all these things is to leave the body peacefully and happily. That is the whole idea, when we are all going to leave. So we have this whatever we'll stop here logically with the whatever letter that we of Maharaj we read. Then there's going to flow through the Prabhupada's the rest of his tour and all that. So this is something which I thought we should learn very carefully learn this. Any thoughts, comments, Prabhu's Matajis? We'll keep it for a couple of minutes only, so that can share some thoughts and we can end for the day. Any thoughts? Any comments? Reflections? Okay. Looks like
Prabhuji, I
yes,
have a
yes, yes,
question.
Anand. Yes, Anand Saki Mataji. Yes, Mata.
Prabhuji, actually, many times it has been seen that when Prabhupada left, many disciples were so attached to Prabhupada that they even left the
Movement.
ISKCON
Yeah,
movement.
yeah, yeah.
And even recently also, when Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj left the body, I know many of the devotees, who were very regular in Mangal Aarti and all, and could not see them for 3 months. And when were asked, Mataji, you are not coming, is everything okay? So they say that we don't feel like continuing Krishna consciousness since Maharaj has left and all. So my question is, when our material relations leave this world, then we can understand, we have that affection, that attachment on material level as well, and we feel sad, and it's difficult to comprehend their pain. But in case of spiritual master, because it's a spiritual connection with them, but still devotees tend to leave their Krishna consciousness. How to take it? I mean, that cannot be material also, but spiritually also they are not continuing their vows. So how to understand this thing?
In the two ways we can see this, Mataji. One of the important points is that, see, while we say Vani is the long-lasting way of connecting with the spiritual master, there is definitely some value to the Vapu. not some, a significant, very, very important value to the Vapu, because it's a Vapu through which the form through which there are some devotees, many devotees, not everybody, but some of us will have the um, connection with them. Like there will be like lot more closer connection with the spiritual master. Personally, we have experienced that with our spiritual master also, so as Maharaj Maharaj. He has given so much more personal time for all of us. So when he left our vision, it was very difficult for us to also comprehend for a couple of months, 2, 3 months, while our devotional service kind of was going on, and in our own little, I mean, at home and all that. But because we had that so much closeness with our spiritual master, anytime we would just talk to him, like we are all connecting like this, we have a talk to him, meet him anytime. He had given us that freedom, for almost all of us. Some of us took advantage of it more, some of us couldn't, physically present. But still, that definitely has its impact, Mataji. How much ever we say, Vani is the ultimate thing. Yes, it is indeed. But those who have had that association of that Vapu, they will be longing for it. Not because it is material connection, but in the spiritual connection, when we are able to appreciate that, at the end of the day, we talk about in Bhagavatam, Krishna's smile, Krishna's loving glance, Krishna's merciful glance, and etc. Right? Those are all a personal connector, right? So with the spiritual master also, those devotees who have had that thing, they will be very much connected to it. Even now, I know some devotees who had so deeply served my Guru Maharaj personally. They feel very much lost whenever they go to meet Maharaj and in his ashram where they used to personally serve him. Even I used to serve him in his ashram and in other places. So when I go there, immediately the thoughts come to me about my those days when we used to have those that interactions, etc. So that is a very strong. Actually, we should use it in the positive way. You should use that separation from that Vapu in a positive way in our devotional service. It should propel our devotional service even more. You see what I'm saying? That is where Vani comes into play very deeply, right? While you will feel the longing of not able to serve the Vapu so much, or even in terms of those who have not had that personal connect with the spiritual masters, they may not be able to appreciate it so much, in the sense that how someone who is closely connecting with them. So we should not underestimate their feelings. That's what I'm trying to say, Anand Saki Mataji. When they say that we don't feel like coming, Maharaj is not there, they genuinely feel that thing. Some of them might take it in a material way. You will see whether it is material or spiritual depending on where they go after some time. Like for example, the bereavement may be there for a couple of months, 2, 3 months or whatever. But then after that, you have to take hold of advantage of the Vani and the experience that you have with the Vapu. Again and again, you should cherish it, so that you continue to serve the mission of the spiritual master till your last moment. Even Raghunath Das Goswami, I think he wanted to commit suicide by jumping from the top of the hill, but I think, is it Rupa Goswami or Sanatana Goswami? Yeah, whoever stopped him from doing that. They said, you please understand, we have mission to serve. We have to serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's departure, I think he wanted to leave also. Or one of the other Goswami, elder Goswami's departure. I forgot the exact details. But then this is bound to happen. Huh? Yeah, it's Piyush Prabhu saying, means after Sanatana Goswami's departure, right? See you, Chansalpati Prabhuji. Just close in a few minutes because Mataji asked a very important question. So, but then they advised him that we have a mission to serve. In the separation, you should see the Vani as the best way of the best way of connecting with the spiritual master again and continue your seva. And that is how we will fulfill the mission of the spiritual master. So you will know whether those devotees come back into normal thing after 2-3 months of whatever time that the bereavement is, or if they go away once and for all, then their connection with the spiritual master is only material. Whatever they could get, for that only they were staying on for. See? So that is the difference which we can see, Mataji. Even some of them left Prabhupada also for quite some time, and then they came back after seeing this thing, because Mukunda Sevi Anyavadanga Samsritim, Smaran Mukundangri Upaguhanam Punar, Vihatu Michen Narasagraho Janaha. Bhagavatam says, once they taste it, they will not want to leave it again. They may be going here and there a little bit, but the taste will keep on coming back to haunt them. That how can I miss it? I have to somehow that taste it again. So Smaran Mukundangri Upaguhanam Punar. Again and again they will remember the taste of the lotus feet, dust of the lotus feet of Krishna. How I got the taste. I have to get it again, get it again. Vihatu Michen, na rasagraho. They would never want to leave it again when they get it back. So that is how we should see it, Mataji. And it is not wrong to feel it, to feel the absence. It's not like we are not mechanically there. It's a heart-to-heart connection with the spiritual master. So when the spiritual master, Prabhupada writes in the Bhagavatam also in the 4th canto, 28th chapter, if you see, Prabhupada says, just like a wife feels the separation when the husband leaves, same way a disciple should feel the separation when the spiritual master leaves. But unless that separation feeling is there, Prabhupada also felt the separation when Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur left. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur also felt when Gaurkishore Babaji left his body. So that feeling has to be there. We have to go through that pain of separation. Only then, in that fire of separation, we will be able to do our seva even more intensely. We will be able to see the spiritual master in everything, everywhere. That is how we should be able to. If we are not having that feeling of connection at all with the spiritual master, how we can see the spiritual master everywhere and in everybody? Right? So that is something which we need to. And not how someone may ask the question, Prabhu, I have not spent ample time with my spiritual master physically when he was there. How can I feel that separation? Prabhupada also himself didn't have so much connection with the spiritual master. But the secret lies in how much constantly you are hearing, doing the Shravanam and doing the Seva, Shravana Seva. First, when you do Shravana Seva, then you follow the instructions. That is when your connection with the spiritual master becomes even more stronger. And then we will never want to leave the lotus feet of the spiritual master and his service again. Does it help, Mataji?
Yes, surely, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
So this is very important to note. And you asked a very wonderful question, because it's very, very relevant for us also, each one of us, for us to continue doing our seva even in the apparent absence of our spiritual masters. Or absence can be permanently absent from this world, or absence can be in I don't have access to them. I mean, if I have some questions, I'm not able to have access to them, etc. But you could keep hearing their lectures, hearing their instructions, reading Prabhupada's books, you get all the answers. Then you will feel the power of the association with the spiritual master. We'll stop here, Prabhu Mataji's wonderful discussions today. Thank you so much for it's only because of your reflections and questions and nice thoughts that this discussion is even more enlightening, enriching. So continue to provide your very sincere association in this group. And tomorrow we will discuss about Narad Muni, the 1540 we have to go through again. And then again back to Saturday, Sunday. So we'll keep this Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday, Sunday as our 2 days for Bhagavatam and Upasana. Thank you so much, Prabhu Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Antapati Vaishnava ki Jai. Nitaya Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, Kripasundarbhyascha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo. See you all tomorrow evening. Krishna will be Prabhu Mataji. Stand up now.